Yes, that was great. Second half. For some reason, the game was weird to start, and I thought our guys found a way to compete and really just found a way to just take over. A lot of growth by a lot of guys. DeAndre was unbelievable tonight in the fourth quarter and in overtime, and we needed every ounce of energy that he had. 14 rebounds and then just all those big layups down the stretch. But that was a fun game.
Coach, like you stated, the Hawks started off slow as far as shooting, but of course they battled back. Was this the type of game that you felt like they grew up some through this battle?
Yeah, I thought our energy was weird in the first two quarters. Down, they had 10 straight, I think, possessions in the first quarter that they scored on, ended up with 40 points. We didn't have a defensive fight, competitiveness in that first quarter. For some reason, we were flat, but we were still in the game. And so I ended up finding a group. We found a group that competed and played well together. John was terrific tonight, his energy, so terrific that he got tired pretty quick in the overtime period, and especially at the end of the fourth quarter. But I found a group that was just playing together and playing with a great amount of energy, and has good growth to see different guys step up. I thought Dre was phenomenal down the stretch, and that's just what teams do. It's not going to be Trey every night. Trey had a big game, but we needed Dre down the stretch, and that was important.
Coach, to an extent, have you taken the training wheels off of Trey? He's been amazing since the All-Star break. And for a gentleman, of course, in his rookie season who didn't play, I'll say more than 35 games last year, to be so deep in the season, we're seeing his best basketball to date.
Some guys, I've gone through this enough with different guys, and some guys it takes a while to get their regular season legs and conditioning, and a lot with shooting, it requires that. You have to be in shape, especially the type of shots he shoots. He's getting hounded defensively and coming off multiple screens, and now he's shooting 26, 27-foot threes. You need your legs, you need conditioning, and you get a week off, you get a couple of days off for All-Star break, you get refreshed. And I think he's playing, and you see it, he's refreshed coming off for All-Star break, but he's also got his NBA legs, and his durability all year has been great. He hasn't missed a game for us. He started every single game. We're playing him extra minutes right now, mainly not because there's no training wheels. I've never had training wheels on him. He's shot the same amount of shots. He's playing well. Why would you take him out if he's playing well like that? I think that's a combination of those things, refreshed after All-Star break, durability of the season, and playing well.
In the fourth quarter, you started with some of your starters. Was that a conscious thing to kind of get a jump start? And then how do you rejigger things on the fly, especially when you get 5 bonus minutes you weren't expecting?
You don't. The 5 minutes are tough because to get to overtime, you probably played a group for a long period of time, and that's why John came out in overtime. He asked for it, and he didn't mind taking a break. And you're worried about all the guys. Dwayne fouls out, so Vince is playing extended minutes, but Vince is playing well. Dre was just rolling, and I really never worry about Dre's conditioning. But you do worry about a group that's played so hard to get back into the game and for a long period of time, and then to add 5 more minutes. It's probably not the time to sub. But trying to be mindful of who may need a break and how long can we go. I thought John was the obvious guy, and that was it. But it's tough. I think part of youth is they don't know any better. So it's good to just let Trey play, and he ends up with 43 minutes. He'll feel a lot of it tomorrow, and we'll try and be smart and get him back to normal minutes in the next game.
Coach, for you guys defensively tonight, Towns very successful from three-point land. How much did that affect your initial strategy coming into tonight's game?
Well, it's tough. You worry about him around the basket and how physical and aggressive he is, and he can get to the foul line. And so when he steps out to the three-point line, it's almost a little bit of a breather, but he's shooting 39% from three, and he hit his first 2. So now you're changing. You're chasing all over, trying to figure out how to guard him. We wanted to double team him in the post as often as we can just to disrupt him. But he's stepping out and knocking down threes, and he's pulling our defenders out, and it's a little bit tough. And it's tough for a lot of 5 men to be out on the three-point line and take away airspace for a guy that can shoot. But he's just a tough cover, and that's why he was an all-star.
Coach, aside from the night from DeAndre, Trey and John, are we seeing the maturation of these two establishing themselves as leaders on this team as far as the chemistry standpoint is concerned?
I think the growth is there. Leadership comes in a lot of different ways, and there are floor leaders. John and Trey both play around 30 minutes a game, and they lead us in that category. So obviously their leadership is going to be by example and on the floor, and trying to educate and help them become more vocal leaders. Trey has the basketball, and he sees a lot that probably I don't see because he's the guy that's out there. It's just him being able to articulate some of that to his teammates and communicate with what he's seeing and what he may need. That takes time, and that takes comfort, and that takes chemistry, but I think you're seeing a lot of that. And when they have success the way they do lobs, and John's picking and popping for threes, it just encourages them to communicate more and want to do it more. And so I think as we go further along, you'll see more, not just the highlights, but you'll see little nuances of what they do when they're playing together. But that's part of the growth. There's good nights, there's bad nights, but if we can communicate, and I think our guys have stayed together for most of it, we'll get better.
Coach, how big was the crowd tonight helping the
It's
team?
been great all year. I don't have an issue. I think, it's hard to this crowd and this gym and this arena. I talk to people outside of Atlanta and tell them how special it is to be here. I didn't know what to expect coming in, especially with a young team and not knowing new coach, new team, new city, what the atmosphere is going to be like. And I feel like every night it's better. Every night it gets better. They're excited about our guys, and they should be. Our players are excited about the atmosphere that we have on a Wednesday night. And I'm encouraged by what we see here and what we're building, and look forward to it continuing.
Coach, over the next roughly 20 games, what are you looking for from your team?
If I can sum it up, I'd probably say what you saw in the fourth quarter and overtime. Just a committed group, a competitive group. A lot of times we get tricked by Trey's deep threes and John's dunks and the highlights. The fourth quarter getting stops is where we're really going to make some growth. We're going to make some strides. And to be down 9 going into the fourth quarter and to come out with a 9-point victory in overtime, that's on the defensive side. That's the fight. And that's the competitive spirit we really want to have. We'll get the highlights, and our guys will be able to make plays. But if we compete like that and we have that type of energy, that's what I'm most looking forward to. The next 20 games and the culture of our team.
Has Trey made strides defensively, and if so, in what parts?
It's just, the biggest thing for all our guys is to stay engaged. And, I'll be able to evaluate more of his individual defense as the season goes on, and as we finish the season. The engaged side of our defense, when to rotate, who to communicate with, are you getting back in transition? His effort has been great, and I think he's committed. I think he feels when he makes a mistake, and he feels when I'm looking at him when he makes a mistake. And to me, that's big, to acknowledge that I messed up, and he knows when he messes up, because before it just kind of went through. He just kind of just went on and got to offense. Now he feels that there's a little more pride. He doesn't want to let his teammates down. He doesn't want to make those type of mistakes, and that's why he's engaged and he's trying a little bit better. But I appreciate the effort that all of our guys have shown, and he's made a ton of strides since the beginning.